Hi, good day all of you. Welcome to our session. Welcome to our channel Intelligible Tutorials. In the today's session now, we are going to describe about the architecture of the UML. What is the meaning of the architecture of the UML? What are the main views in the architecture of the UML now? We are going to see. Okay, so first of all, we see what is the meaning of the architecture of the UML. So first of all, we need to talk about the visualizing, specifying, constructing, and finally documenting. Visualizing, specifying, and constructing, and finally the documenting the views of the system will provide the multiple views from the various stakeholders who participated the development of the system. Whatever system that the developers are going to develop, the multiple stakeholders will be there. Those are nothing but analysts, testers, developers, and as well as some kind of the other people will are clients, and all these people calls as stakeholders who takes their role, who have their role in the development of the system, who takes their role in the participation of the development of the system. All these are called as the stakeholders. So stakeholders can have multiple views. So whenever we are talking about visualizing, specifying, constructing, and documenting the multiple views of the system, so it provides the multiple views of the system to different kinds of the stakeholders. These stakeholders are nothing but analysts, developers, testers, etc. These are the various kinds of the stakeholders. They can have multiple views on the system whatever they are developing. So these multiple views can be represented with the help of the architecture of the UML. There are totally 5 number of the views. How these 5 number of views can be viewed by the various number of the stakeholders, how they can provide the multiple views, how a single subsystem can be viewed with the help of the multiple views. All these things now we are going to see. We are having design view, implementation view, and process view, and deployment view. And the center core is nothing but use case view. Like that, we are having 5 number of the views. The first one is the design view, second one is the implementation view, third one is the process view, and the finally it is nothing but the deployment view. Like that, we are having 5 number of the views. How each and every view will facilitate to provide the multiple views, to provide various views to the system, now we are going to see. The common view for all these things is nothing but use case view. Use case view will act as a center core for all these design view, implementation view, process view, and as well as the deployment view. What is the importance of the use case view? Now we are going to see. By watching the use case view itself, we can know the process, we can know the implementation, we can know the design, and as well as we can know the deployment details. Like that, you have to use the use case view, you have to design the use case diagrams in your program or in your project or in your case study, whatever you are dealing with. So that's why use case view plays a vital role. It contains some set of the use cases which give the clear insight of all the other progressive views. So use case is acted as the center core view and as well as the common view for all these given views. And what are the various elements in the architecture now we are going to see. The various elements that include in the architecture of the UML now, the first one is nothing but the collection of structural elements, and the second one is nothing but collection of behavioral elements. The third one, the composition of structural and as well as behavioral elements. And the last one, it contains all elements can be used to see in a large subsystem. Like that, we are having multiple number of the views. The first one is nothing but collection of the structural elements, the second one is collection of behavioral elements, and the third one is composition of both structural and as well as the behavioral elements, and finally all these elements that are used to see in a large system what we are going to develop. Like that, the architecture contains all these elements like structural elements, behavioral elements, and the composition of both structural and as well as behavioral elements, and finally how all these elements are composed in a large subsystem what you are going to develop. Like that, the architecture can have the multiple number of the elements. And now how each and every view can be used to view various kinds of the elements, what are the various things are there in each and every view. Now we will see. We have totally 5 number of the views. The first one is nothing but the use case view, and second one is nothing but the design view, implementation view, deployment view, and all these things. First of all, I would like to write the use case view, and second one is nothing but design view, and third one is nothing but implementation view, and deployment view, and finally, here it is process view, and finally the deployment view. Process view, and finally the deployment view. Like that, we are having multiple number of the views: design view, use case view, design view, implementation view, process view, and as well as the deployment view. Each and every view will work for what, and what are the various things in the each and every view. Now we are going to see. The first one is nothing but the use case view. Use case view encompasses some set of the use cases, and it describes the behavior of the system and as well as the functional requirements of the system. So what are the things are there in the use case view? The first one, it encompasses a set of the use cases, and it is the behavior of the system and as well as the functional requirements of the system. And coming to the second one is nothing but the design view. So what are the things are there in the design view? The design view encompasses to some classes, interfaces, etc., and it describes the structure of the system, and it supports functional requirements. Those are the things are there in the design view. Coming to the implementation view, what are the things are there in the implementation view? Now we are going to see. In the implementation view, we have it encompasses to some set of files, releases, etc., and it deals with configuration, management details. And coming to the process view, it also encompasses threads and process mechanisms, and it encompasses to some set of synchronization and concurrency mechanisms. And last and final one is nothing but deployment view. This deployment view deals with hardware topology, and it deals with the connections of LAN, etc. All these details it describes. Like that, each and every view can have its own specification, each and every view can have its own thing, its own detailed things are there in each and every view. For example, use case view deals with the collection of the use cases and the behavior of the system, and the use case view itself, it indicates that this is the functional requirements of the system. So whatever functional requirements of the system are there, that can be clearly specified with the help of the use case view only. Coming to the second one is nothing but design view. The design view directly deals with the structural details. Those are nothing but classes and their relationships and the set of interfaces, how they are interrelated. All these things can be described with the help of the structural view. And coming to the third one, implementation view. How this implementation view can be represented with the help of some set of the files, releases, how it can be implemented, how the system can be implemented. All these internal details can be represented with the help of the implementation details. Coming to the next one, process view. The process view always deals with the synchronization mechanisms and concurrence mechanisms. To support the synchronization and as well as the concurrency mechanisms, it deals with some set of the processes and as well as the threads. Okay, whereas the processes can be detailedly clearly given as the heavyweight processes, and threads are dealt with lightweight processes. Threads are referred as the lightweight processes. Coming to the deployment view, it deals with the hardware topology and how the systems are connectivity are there, how the topology will look like, star topology or ring topology, how the LAN settings will be there. All these things can be represented with the help of the deployment view. Like that, the UML architecture can have all these 5 different kinds of the views, and the common core view is nothing but the use case view, and remaining are the connected views to the use case view. And this is the clear description of the each and every view in the UML architecture. In the further videos, we talk about the basic structural modeling of the UML. So to view more videos, please subscribe our channel Intelligible Tutorials. Thank you.